Now, if somebody comes up and stomps on your 2,560-pound record-breaking pumpkin, you going to lose your temper? I would probably, and I would think that would be legitimate. But there are reasons. There are reasons we get angry. We're meant to be angry at certain times. Somebody breaks into your house, you can't just talk them out of it. You need to have an anger outburst, probably. But most of the time when we're mad, it's for other stuff. It has to do with something underlying, I think. Well, let's find that out. How you control this stuff. Dr. John Braccio is with us as always this time on a Tuesday. Doc, it's great to have you back here with us on your morning wake up.
Well, Mike, great talking to you, my friend. And it is really true. It's important to be able to control anger outbursts over trivial matters. Okay, it's an unfortunate fact. Most persons at one time or another waste a lot of their energy by being angry over trivial matters. Things as simple as a person driving too slowly on the road in front of us, child leaving a book at school, or a spouse forgetting to pick something up on the way home can lead to severe anger outbursts. Anybody who's been on the end of one of these knows how bad this can be. So this is unhealthy for the person having the anger outburst and for the recipients. And too often anger outbursts occur with persons who lived in homes where parents were constantly bickering and fighting over many small things, and they learn these behaviors when modeled by them. As a result, it's really not surprising when these behaviors are, in effect, reenactments. No, not like the Civil War reenactment. This is a reenactment of the bickering and fighting, okay? And the power of modeling on future human behavior is so powerful and often not understood by persons on both sides of the anger outburst. In order to really end the emotional turmoil to all involved, the following are some suggestions of how to overcome anger outbursts over trivial matters.
Okay.
And it's okay. I'll run through some of these. Truly recognize how short life is and don't waste a moment. We have to live on foolish and antagonizing anger, okay? Carpe diem, as the Roman said. I always like that statement, seize the day, and it's really true. Second is recognize what is appropriate anger over mistreatment rather than inappropriate anger over trivial matters. And then another one, think, and this is really a big one, think how important you will think about your being mad now, okay? How important will it be in an hour, a day, a week, a month, or a year? And then even more, think about how important it is today as we're talking, what your great-great-great-grandparent was upset about 120 years ago. Well, obviously not very important now, and maybe what you think is important now isn't going to be in an hour that important. Then 5 here, replace negative anger trigger thoughts with positive and neutral ones. So if something negative is really coming in your mind, hey, just, not just count to 10, just think of it as a statement, I'm taking control. I'm not going to let this do it to me again, okay? And then 6, problem solve with those you get angry with to work as a team to eliminate anger outbursts over trivial matters. And then another one, do deep in and out breathing and count as you do this. Deep breathing is always a quick thing to do. No one even necessarily will know what you're doing. And it just kind of helps you, okay, let alone exercising and just walking away. And then if none of these work, you can then seek a therapist who's an expert in anger management. But I really do believe, Mike, that it's really critical that people not let the little things really get them going. And when we really think about life, I remember, if I can tell you an old time, in 1975, when my dad was 80, he said to me one day, he said, John, just yesterday I was 10, okay, felt like I was 10. And I remember thinking, well, it can't have been that quick, okay, but now that I'm going to be 79 in a couple of days and feel great, I might add.
Really? Is there a party?
Well, I've already had 2 of them, and we're actually going to go into the metro area to a restaurant to do that. But anyway,
apparently my invitation is still on the way.
Well,
just saying.
Good. The safest time was when you knew I was going somewhere else, but no. Anyway, the main thing is really that time travels. It travels quickly. We want to enjoy the road of life, okay? And you can't do that if you're blowing up and bickering. And not only will it negatively impact the relationship you're in, the people you're around, but it's going to be havoc for you. So, smell the roses, relax. If someone's hurting you, doing something negative, then sure, anger is very, very appropriate. But don't let the little things, because as you live your life, you're all of a sudden going to be taking a time out, and you're going to say, wow, have I wasted a lot of my time getting mad about things that aren't important? It's also not healthy for you from your blood pressure point of view, from relationships, from where you work. So being more relaxed, being calm, being the good citizen, being the good family member, and just getting along, being mellow. This is really the way to try to lead a life. And, Mike, boy, I'll tell you, all you've got to do is go into a grocery store, go into a hardware store, and you're going to hear somebody mad about something. So, hey, just mellow, get out that music you were talking about, and just strum away. How does that sound? Just relax life.
I like it. Don't you think we have become generally an angrier society? It just seems that way. But maybe every generation thinks that. Our generation, everybody's angrier.
I think it's more. I mean, because you've got the political divide. You've got so many things people are willing to argue about, and we're training people to be little warriors.
Yes.
If you're mad about something, go out and talk about it. Okay. I mean, I believe if you believe in something, there's nothing wrong with supporting it. But confronting people, arguing, whatever it might be, I believe there's 100 ways to say something. But you want to say something. If you want to persuade someone, you're not going to persuade them by saying, you're really a dummy for having that thought. Okay, that'll get you a long way. Right. Someone will come back and say, well, you're a double dummy. So I think that we all could learn to be more civilized in our interactions, and if we believe strongly in something, there's nothing wrong with that. In fact, it's important to have a moral code, to have things that you really believe in, but you're not going to convert many people if you're fighting with them, arguing with them, finding fault with them. Persuasion is a skill that I think that is really lacking, and we're really not teaching it either. So that's kind of leading to a lot of anger too. And people a lot of times are even fearful of saying things these days. So, hey, this is the time to try to lead a happy life, and you'll lead a lot happier if you're not fighting with people all the time, particularly over small minutia type things. And really, if you really think about it too, Mike, so often people get mad, and then they don't even remember what they were mad about, or when they get over it, they'll be talking to someone saying, oh, I didn't mean when I called you a big fat idiot. Okay, but the person you called a big fat idiot didn't like it. It isn't happy. You can't just come out and say, well, I didn't really mean it. I was just mad. I mean, you can't take back negative
you don't
statements.
Get a pass.
You don't get a pass.
And there's my mother, God love her. She's a sainted lady. She always said, be that guy when you walk in the room, people are happy that you're there. I love it. All right, Dr. John Braccio, drjohnb.com. However, Mom and Dad argued sometimes, they would go at it, but then they kissed and made up. But yeah, I learned some of my argument skills from both of them. That's rough. Hey, I got to tell you, speaking of calming, if you go to drjohnb.com, just take a look on the homepage of the view of the lake. That's a nice calming picture right there. I kind of like that. Love all right. Well, it's harder to do than say, as everything is. It's a constant work. You're not going to just do it once. It's a habit you have to form, and we got to keep working on it. We got to keep working on ourselves. Dr. John Braccio, drjohnb.com, Regional Psychological Services. Always a pleasure having you on Tuesdays, Doc, and I'm looking forward again already to next Tuesday and see what you got up your sleeve there.
Look forward to talking to you, Mike. You're a great guy. Bye-bye.
All right. Talk to you later, bud. Bye-bye. Dr. John. I like him. 1320 WILS.